everybody, and welcome in for another episode of Vol Club Confidential. I'm your host, Austin Price. We're joined by Tennessee pitcher Drew Beam later on in the broadcast. But first, we bring in Spire CEO James Clausen. You're now over 2,500 members. You continue to grow, continue to see more and more outreach as far as, local businesses, and even some, corporate businesses reaching out. How big of a change is that from just a year ago?
Well, probably a year ago we were under 500 members. So, over 2,000 members in probably, less than a year. So, we're just trying to figure out more ways to add value to our members, whether that's more signed items coming in the mail or, things where we can host, we got a couple big baseball series left, Kentucky and Mississippi State. So, getting more people up to the porch or getting them access to tickets and things like that.
What's the biggest question you get from people that just don't know or confused, just don't understand?
Probably, how do you decide which players, how much, what's the market rate, how do you determine that kind of stuff? And we certainly don't have all the answers. We've leaned on our technology partner Open Doors, which has come out with some guidance on, players by position and by conference. And so, that's helped us come up with more of a model of, okay, we think this position is worth this, and here's what we can, get out of it.
One of the marquee positions in baseball is the pitcher, and that's why we bring in tonight's key guest, and that's Drew Beam, pitcher for the Tennessee Volunteers.
How are you? Good, how are you?
Drew, we're a year and a half in, and you've had this uber successful run as Tennessee's Sunday starter, sometimes Saturday starter, depending on when the series starts. Could you have ever envisioned this run when you missed junior year due to COVID? Senior year, you had to have Tommy John surgery. You hadn't really pitched a whole lot dating back to your sophomore year, and then all of a sudden you come in and you're a starter as a true freshman.
Yeah, I was dying to get back on the field after those 2 years missed. Obviously, the pandemic and then injury part sucked. But, I was just dying to get back out there. And, I never knew coming into college what I was really expecting to be as my role. But whenever they named me the Sunday starter, I was just more than excited, and I was excited to take it and run with it.
When you sit down with Frank Anderson and he gives you the news that he wants you to be the guy that takes the ball in Game 3 every series, kind of what are you thinking at that point? Because, you've just been on campus a few months.
Yeah, they actually wasn't even a sit down at all. It was a
hey, Boom, you're getting the ball.
Yeah, it was Coach walked in Sunday morning of that first series last year, and my name was on the starting pitching roll. I had an idea. It was between me and one other guy, and so Coach didn't want me overthinking it the night before and stuff, so I actually think it worked well. So came in, saw my name was on it, and went with it, I guess.
You see that number 32 on the chain. That's not what you wore in high school.
It is not, no, sir.
I remember your mom being like, I'm not sure about this. And you've kind of made that your own. It's, 32 is Drew Beam.
Yeah, I love the new number. Doe actually had my number from high school, and That's cool. He's he was coming in, big name, so from Georgia Southern. So they rolled 32 towards me, and I was like, let's roll with it. And I kind of like it now. Even if I had the chance to switch, I don't think I would.
Are you a big numbers guy?
Not crazy. Is what it is, really.
So those that don't know, I've known Drew's family for a long time. First time I ever met Drew's family, it was Drew. You weren't there. I think you were playing baseball that day. I met your sister Carly, who at the time was selling lemonade during a basically a community yard sale.
Yeah.
And everybody was coming over and getting lemonade from her and all that stuff. For those that don't know, kind of fill everybody in on your sister and kind of, where she's at.
Yeah, so my sister, she's 15 years old now. She has spinal muscular atrophy, which is better known as SMA. It's a muscular disorder, and so it's made her wheelchair bound since a young age. And other than that, she lives a pretty normal life. She's her cheer team's manager for her cheer for Blackman High School, and then, like you said, she's making lemonade for other people. She just lives a normal any other kid's life, other than the fact that she's just has that boundary of being in a wheelchair. But she makes it work, and she's who she is because of it.
She bossy to you?
A little bit. And she gets away with a little bit being the younger sibling, so I kind of have to, bite it and just go with it sometimes. But I guess that is what it is whenever you're an older sibling.
When she's able to come to your games, though, and doesn't really miss, as big bro, how much has that kept you grounded, and how much do you ever just sit around and go, man, it's really kind of neat that she's able to make it to as much as she can?
Oh yeah, I mean, a good or bad game, no matter what it is, she's always the first person I see after the game, and it just brings a smile to my face and just lights up everybody around her, I guess. And I think everybody in Lindsey Nelson knows who she is. Everybody on campus just are starting to know who she is and her story. And so, yeah, I mean, just knowing that, she's gone through some of these things and fights these trials and tribulations every day just helps me, overcome things as they come to me.
Yeah, and you wear the purple glove
Absolutely.
for SMA for
correct.
For her, and any other kind of, I guess, like cleats, that type of stuff that you'll try to throw in there and going forward.
The ideas have ran through my head, and we'll see what we can come up with going forward. But yeah, that idea has definitely gone through. I know there's a bunch of guys on the team that wear her purple bracelet. So do I. It's the purple one on my wrist, and there's a bunch of guys who support her and support me with it, and so they wear it every day.
Do you feel like that, your role, you've just gotten more comfortable with it as we shift back to baseball, especially this year because, here the last month or so, you've kind of come in and, kept Tennessee out of the ditch with some big Game 3 wins on series where Tennessee could have got swept. Do you feel more confident now than maybe you even were a year ago?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, obviously, me, Doe, and Burns have gone through, last year we kind of build off of each other, and it really helps me in the, day 3 guy, seeing Doe and Burns do what they do and see what the other pitchers do. And it kind of helps me learn the team we're playing and, figure them out, and kind of helps me in the long run, honestly, because I get to see 2 days of our pitchers figuring out their weaknesses. And I think that's been a big testament to helping me, is just being able to watch the game and understand, what this hitter likes and doesn't like. And so I think that's been a big thing. And then just being a Sunday guy for the second year in a row, respect levels there with the other teammates, just like I have for them. And just, being able to help some of the younger guys along. And it's just been great.
So when you're watching the Friday night game, the Saturday game, are you really quiet on the bench because you're like trying to study, as you said, the other team, or are you still really chatty? Like what are you like in those non-throw days when you're watching the Friday, Saturday games?
I try to stay chatty. Obviously, I don't want to be in the dugout just being a Debbie Downer, so I like to get in there. I'm not the biggest chirper, the biggest, come up with the funny things to say, but I'm definitely into it. I love baseball games, and so I'm not going to miss out on just sitting there. Who's
the one guy that has meant the most to you since you got here? Whether it be a coach, could be a player, could be a sports staff member.
Yeah. I mean, I've got some really good buddies on the team. I know, Kirby, Wyatt, and Xander are some of my closest buddies on the team that way. Redmond's been great. Just being that older guy who knows a lot and had been around as a player last year, and he's a coach this year, so he's, got both sides of things, and he got a lot of wisdom and knowledge. And I don't think I could really pinpoint one person, but I think just the, whole group as a whole has been great to me.
Where's your game continue to get better as a pitcher? Do you feel like you have, different arm angles you can come at now? Do you feel like you have different pitches that you're more confident in than maybe you were, again, because I feel like you've still not played a ton of baseball because you missed those back-to-back years, like where I feel like, you still have your best baseball ahead of you.
Yeah, I mean, I think one of the big things is just, getting deeper into the, what I said was talking about watching and understanding what hitters do and do not like, and kind of, there's new technology coming out all the time about, this hitter likes, certain pitches, and it just kind of shows you, and there's all kinds of different graphs, and it's honestly pretty cool, but honestly, it's above my head. I don't really know what I'm looking at. So I guess that side of the game, just, keep, developing my craft and getting my pitches more dialed in where I can put this pitch right here versus, missing by a few inches on everything.
If you could pick the brain of any pitcher in any era, who would it be?
He still plays, but he's just goofy, and Zach Greinke would probably be my guy. He's just he calls his own pitches now on the pitch calm thing, which is pretty cool. He shook himself off. I want to understand why he does that kind of stuff, but he's just, what I've heard from other people is he has such an in-depth baseball mind that it goes, beyond what I can think of right now. So that'd be a cool talk.
Favorite pitcher growing up Was it just Grinke, or was it when you were a kid? Like, was there somebody that you're just like, man, I just love that guy?
Yeah, Grinke wasn't it growing up. I was a Reds fan growing up, so Johnny Cueto was really cool to watch with his wind-up, and he'd mess with hitters. And then Aroldis Chapman was on that team, and he threw fuel. So those are probably my top two growing up.
You were a Reds fan.
I know it.
I respect it because they've not been very good, so it's hard to be a Reds
Gotta stay true,
fan.
right?
What made you a Reds fan?
Zach Cozart was their shortstop at the time, and he was the son of one of our family friends. So that got me. I was young, knew him personally, so I was like, started watching the Reds and kind of went with that.
You got the UT across the chest. What's that mean to you?
It means a lot. I mean, forever, since I was little, my whole family's been a Tennessee fans and, bleed orange, as they say, and I think that's, truly something that I do, and it's just always been a big thing to me is living true to being a Tennessee Vol, and I think that's, just my dreams came true when I got to come play here.
You committed here so early. When you first got that offer, like, what was a younger Drew Beam going through mentally at that point? Like, you know what I mean? Because, that's a lot for like a 15, 16-year-old kid to kind of digest.
I was beyond excited whenever I got the offer from Tennessee. I'd had a few of the other offers on the table, but this one just stuck in there, and I was like, ooh, that's really where I've always wanted to go. And when it came time, it was like, why are we asking questions? It's a SEC school, big program that's on the upcome, and I've always wanted to go there. So it was just an easy decision.
What's Tony Vitello meant to you?
Tony's been great. That feels weird calling him Tony, but Coach V, he's awesome. He brings the energy. He just keeps us alive, and I think he's just that backbone of the team on energy and feel, and we just all kind of vibe with him.
Flip that to Frank Anderson. He seems so calm, but yet so like ready to rage at any moment at times.
You're right. Whenever
he's like if I said, who do you want to get in the foxhole with on the baseball team? I think he probably would be number one. Like, I just feel like he would do anything for you guys.
Absolutely. He's all in for us. He's obviously, like y'all notice, he's very calm, but when the moment's needed, he's all fire and he's ready to just flip that switch.
How different is he in the team room? Like, is he a reserved guy in the team room? And like behind closed doors, is he a reserved guy? Is he a cut up? Is he a practical joker? Is he sneaky joker? Good prankster?
He has his jokes and he's funny at times. He can crack up with us for sure.
All right, so you're dating this girl from Texas A&M.
I am.
Her dad's a coach at Texas A&M.
Correct.
You all swept Texas A&M.
We did indeed.
How was that? Was it good bragging rights?
It was great. Obviously, I respect her dad and her brother and stuff, and that was cool. But it was cool to play against them, and obviously, we want to go out and beat everybody, so that wasn't too much of a problem.
Do you like pitching on the road or pitching at home better?
I love both, but the road's it's interesting. It's cool to see different fan bases and stuff like that, and see how they do different things at different stadiums. Obviously, I love being at home, and Lindsey Nelson and just our fans and stuff are great. But yeah, it's cool to be on the road.
When you, as a pitcher, Lindsey Nelson is a hitter's park. It's smaller. So, like, when you get in those bigger parks on the road, is it almost better for you, do you feel like?
It can be.
Even though you're on the road in a hostile environment at times?
Yeah, but it's not terrible. It's obviously nice to have a bigger field, but I'm going to be honest, some of the guys in college, it doesn't matter if we're on a little league field or
they can rake.
Big league field. It's if it's going over the fence, it's probably going out most places. So
aluminum bats, my man.
Yeah, you're right.
Do you think your game probably translates better to professional baseball where you're going against wooden bats?
Oh, I hope so. That's the goal, right? I hope it translates real well.
When people talk to you about your game, what do you think they see? What do they tell you they see about you as a pitcher?
Yeah, they recently has been the QB1 approach. Coach V originated that. Kind of said that I model my game after being a football player and how I keep a level head and really don't let much affect me.
What pitchers at the major league level do you try to model your game after? It doesn't even have to be modern pitchers. Do you ever just watch old YouTube clips of Pedro Martinez or Roger Clemens or Tom Glavine or anybody like that, or are you just that was before your time, so you don't even entertain that?
I'm gonna be honest. I really don't try to model my game after anybody. Just try to be myself, and really doesn't guys will say they model after somebody else, but I'm trying to be who I am, make myself, I guess, a household name. So I want it to be after me and not somebody else.
So who is Drew Beam?
I don't know. I'm still trying to mold that and figure that one out for myself. But hopefully, people know me as a good human being, a great ball player, great pitcher who wants to compete, and just going to get after it on the field.
Do you feel like you're stronger now? I feel like, you and Burns, especially late last year, it's a long season. It's just like going from playing college ball to Major League ball. You go from playing 50 or 60 games playing 162. Do you feel like you hit a wall last year and you're more prepared now to not hit that wall as we head late April, early May?
I think so. Last year at this time, I was not feeling that great. Body was starting to fall apart a little bit, and I think this point this year, I'm feeling a lot better, feeling like I can get deeper into the season without hitting that wall that I felt like I hit last year.
When you go back home, is there a certain thing you do? Is there a certain set of group of friends you see when you head back to Murfreesboro?
Yeah, absolutely. All my high school buddies I played football with, I definitely go see. Go golfing and fishing when I'm back home. So yeah, it's really just keep it simple, hang out with some old friends.
What's your favorite memory from high school football?
That would definitely be the Riverdale game. I believe it was my junior year. We were down by like 3 touchdowns at halftime, and we came back all the way and won it with like 7 seconds left.
That was the COVID year.
Yeah, right before it was the season, fall before COVID.
Yeah. Where do you feel like your game from the football field maybe helped you in baseball, or what could you take from one sport to the next?
One was just being an athlete, being athletic, and taking parts of my game from football and bringing it over. But just the mental side of clearing it and going to the next thing is if you make a bad pass, just clear it, and you've got to be ready for the next series, next play, and not hold on to it. If you hold that in your mind, it's going to happen again.
We're going to go rapid fire here. You ready?
Cool.
You don't have to be one-word answers, but it don't need to be 3-minute answers either.
Gotcha.
Favorite childhood memory?
Probably just hunting with my dad.
Biggest game you've killed?
Killed a 6-point deer. I'm not much of a deer hunter. I'm more of a bird hunter.
What kind of birds? Grouse?
I like to duck hunt, waterfowl.
You like getting in the blind?
Love the blind.
You need to get with the Mays brothers then. They have a nice little honey hole out there in West Tennessee. Tell us something about yourself that would surprise most people.
I love cars and trucks. I like, going to car shows and stuff. That's cool to me.
If you were a WWE wrestler, which one would you be?
Rey Mysterio.
Why?
He's just cool and interesting. I was never into WWE much, but he's just pops and has fun.
Batman, Superman, Spider-Man, if you could be one, who and why?
Batman, because he's rich and has all kinds of different technology.
I said you pull in, you're in a black truck, you're in a black, and of course Batman's all black, so surprised by the answer. Who's your role model and why?
Both my parents. I mean, get some from my mom, get some from my dad, but they're just great people, and they've taught me to be who I am.
You have any hidden talents?
Other than throwing a baseball, I don't got anything out of the ordinary. Cannot juggle, cannot do anything like that. So
best round of golf?
81.
Close to breaking 80.
Getting there, getting close.
Best part of your game?
Right now, the short game. Really good, 150 in.
If you had a walk-up song like the hitters do, what are you rolling with?
It's been so long. My go-to back in the day, whenever I did hit, was AC/DC, but that was
Back in Black.
Yeah, Back in Black. Play a little bit of that, a little Thunderstruck, stuff like that. So something cool like that. A little heavy metal, I think, would be my way to go.
Biggest pet peeve in life or in sports?
Really messes with my head when people parking. You got to be a perfect parker. You got to have it like in between the lines, perfect. If you're on the line, it really ticks me off. I don't understand how people cannot park correctly. So that's a big thing.
Now you got the big truck. Are you one that parks like in the back 50 to make sure your truck doesn't get dinged by the cars?
Yeah, park near no one is a big thing.
But between the lines.
Between the lines, absolutely.
When did this start?
When I started driving, I guess. I got tow mirrors on my truck so I can see the lines easier. No, that's not the only reason. I think they look cool, but it helps.
Best driver in your family not named you?
Ooh, probably my dad. Mom likes to drive fast, and she gets on to me for driving fast, so it's a little hypocritical.
Stunned, Kelly, stunned. I'm not shocked at all. Best place to eat in Murfreesboro?
Got to go with Toots. Good old Toots.
It is
I
Toots.
think, if we're bringing someone home to Murfreesboro, you gotta take them there.
Toots or Demos's?
Demos's goes good too.
Get a little cheese bread,
Yeah.
cheese toast or whatever they call it over
Or
there.
that was it Bad Daddy Burgers? That place.
You like that?
I really like. They got a real big, nice burger. I've downed it a few times.
Koji?
Koji's good. I really like Koji. I kind of wish we had one here.
We do. It's called Asahi. It's in Lenore City.
Oh, I'll have to check it out.
Or Ashi and Mirabel. They're owned by the same people. They just didn't want it to be as confusing, so they
Oh, nice.
moved some letters around.
We found a all-you-can-eat Japanese place here is Makino.
Where's that at?
It's on Kingston. It's right down there, across from Rice, the GMC
Yeah.
dealership. It's pretty good. It's like $20, and we go in there and we eat a lot.
Who goes on these eating adventures?
I mean, we've had 15, 16 guys go before, and I can tell you we got every bit of our $20 worth. Probably not, maybe even $40.
They wanted you to leave. They're
we've
like,
had-
leave.
We've had sushi eating competitions before in there.
Who wins those?
I won one. I don't know if I can win another. That put me down for the count. I had 40-something pieces of sushi. So we were just ordering, letting it settle, and kept ordering because none of us wanted to lose.
Best teammate.
Best teammate, Logan Chambers.
Why?
Just always supportive, always there to help, talk about anything. No one hates him at all. There's nothing he's ever done wrong, so I just like the guy a lot.
Funniest teammate.
Xander Sechrist or Aaron Combs. They both have their different types of funny, and it's awesome whenever they mix.
This team obviously doesn't have the bravado that last year's team did. Do you feel like that you need to get a little bit of that, though, heading down the stretch here? I'm not saying you got to go full, bat flipping and walking backwards and, carrying the bat like Pedro Serrano on Major League around the bases when you hit a home run. But, do you feel like you need just a little bit? Does there need to be a little energy?
Yeah, I think the energy's coming. I think we're also at the point where we feel like we haven't proved ourselves yet, so we don't want to be, too boastful. And the fact that we're kind of underperforming as we feel like. So I think it'll come but I think we're still figuring ourselves out as a team.
Last year you had one of the greatest seasons in college baseball history. You didn't even make it to Omaha.
You're right.
Is that kind of the thought process this year? Like, let's get in and be playing our best baseball when it matters. Because last year we did all that from February to May, and it didn't matter in June.
It did not one bit. Yeah, we absolutely would like to be playing our best baseball in June, and be one of the last team standing. Absolutely.
Do you think this team hates cold weather? Because you played 2 cold weather series. Last year, Kentucky, rainy, overcast, not real warm. Then freezing in Missouri. And y'all went 1-5.
We did. I don't think anyone likes playing baseball in cold weather.
But those teams are around it every day,
You're
so
right.
it's a little easier to adjust to it.
Yeah, and I talked to one of their pitchers at Missouri, and he said he even hates it. But you're right, they are around it and get acclimated a little more to it. It could just be a mindset thing, but I don't hate playing in cold weather, but I'd much rather be playing in 75 and sunny here in Knoxville than Columbia, Missouri.
Yeah, I understand that. What's the best advice you can give younger Drew Beam if you could go back?
I'd say don't do the stuff I did to tear my UCL, but I guess it kind of has helped me out and made me sit back and watch the game and learn it a little bit from the other side of things. So just don't take for granted being, the high school and stuff. To, enjoy that, and then because it's a grind once you get to college. It's fun, but it's still a grind.
For people that want to learn more about your sister's fight in SMA, how can they do that?
Yeah, there's a few videos out on Instagram and stuff, and then there's obviously you can go to curesma.org. That's where you'll find the best information. There'll be multiple videos on that. You can learn about all the different types of SMA. So that'd probably be your best place to find it.
As we wrap up, in a perfect world, most baseball players are 3 and gone. You got a year and a half left, if on that path. What do you want to get accomplished?
Here?
Yep.
I want to win a national championship, obviously. That's the goal, bring another championship, or bring the first baseball championship back to Knoxville. That's the main goal. Keep perfecting my craft and win a championship while I do it.
How does Drew Beam get better the next year and a half?
Stay in the weight room, stay training outside of the weight room. Just.
What'd you weigh when you got here, and what do you weigh now?
When I got here, because I was post-surgery and had a little bit of fat on me, I was about 225. I'm 210, 212-ish right now.
But it's a different 210.
So a whole lot different. Yeah, I was Q had fun getting that weight off of me real fast in the summer, my freshman year.
Best thing when you go over there to the nutrition bar or going to Smokies is what?
Wings. The wings are my favorite thing. Absolutely. But I'm a boneless wing guy, so I really don't like eating traditional wings.
Me neither, but Brent Hubbs will tell me that those aren't wings. Those are called chicken nuggets.
And that's fine. I'll stand by it. I like chicken nuggets more than I like wings.
I'm with you, buddy. 100%. 1,000,000%. Well, Drew, we appreciate you, man. We appreciate you, catching up with us tonight. And Tennessee fans, if you want an easy guy to root for, it's number 32. He's made it his own. He's your Sunday, sometimes Saturday starter for the Tennessee baseball team, and we look forward to watching you the rest of the way, okay?
Appreciate it.